history will be made tonight in Portland, Oregon. Over 21,000 fans will jam Providence Park for the latest edition of the Cascadia rivalry between the Thorns and Seattle Reign. The sellout will be a new NWSL attendance record. Good evening, everybody. Ann Schott's joined by my broadcast partner. That is Laura Schott, former Jesuit great, All-America at Cal, and former member of the U.S. women's national team. All right, Laura, the atmosphere in this stadium already before kickoff is absolutely electric. The World Cup returnees, a sellout crowd. What does that mean for soccer here in this city?
Oh, it means so much for the city. It means so much for just soccer in general, not even women's soccer. It's going to be fantastic to see this atmosphere. These players come out, the World Cup players come out. They're used to crowds like this, but the players that have been here, maybe they haven't been in a crowd this big. We'll see how they react.
So the returnees, 9 of them for the Portland Thorns. Now we know there are some banged up players like Morgan and Taylor. However, a couple of the returnees have really caught your eye, Sinclair and Heath.
Oh, absolutely. Those players are going to be so important tonight. Sinclair playing that point. They're going to find her. They're going to get the ball back from her. She's going to spin. You'll look to find her in behind. Tobin Heath is just so good on the ball. She's good 1v1, but she's just so good on the ball, so deceptive. They're going to change the game.
So difference makers to be sure. All right, we talked about Sinclair and Heath, part of the starting 11 for the Portland Thorns. Let's take a look at the rest of the starting lineup for Paul Riley's bunch. The back line will feature familiar faces and a great addition in Australian Steph Catley. Now, you've got Zerboni in the holding midfield location, along with Claire Pokinghorn, making her Thorn debut, also from the Australian national team. Tobin Heath will anchor the attacking midfield, Farley and Alley alongside. Sink, as we mentioned, alone up top as that lone forward. Laura Harvey's 6'3" Reign will go with Haley Kottmeyer in goal as Hope Solo continues to nurse that injury. Solid back line led by Kendall Fletcher. The Reign so glad to have her back after that concussion. Seattle's midfield loaded. Little, Fishlock really make this club go. And scorers up top, to be sure, in Rapinoe and Giannis. She has really been the unsung hero, has Beverly, for this Seattle Reign club that comes in sitting number 2 in the standings. Very dangerous and heavily scoring Seattle club. And when we come back, as the national anthem is waiting in the wings, we will have a special presentation to honor these World Cup returnees. Stick around.
Giving back to the community is very important to our family.
Help the Portland community and buy your 50-50 raffle tickets at every Timbers and Thorns home game. As a current board member of AC Portland, I know they're making a difference in the community through sports and education. 50% of the jackpot benefits Active Children Portland and the Stand Together for All program. To participate, look for the 50-50 signs at home games and visit timbers.com/5050 for more information.
From an early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Dad would say,
Eres un has abocado, mijo. Eres especial.
Dad was right. I was ripe for big things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day, I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole made with Haas avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
have no idea how your health rolls out in waves of good. Providence.
Welcome back to Providence Park. We're minutes away from the Portland Thorns Seattle Reign match in front of an expected sellout crowd of over 21,000. But before kickoff, a very special celebration to honor the returning World Cup players for both squads, dignitaries on hand, and as I mentioned, over 21,000 fans here at Providence Park. The Portland Thorns, of course, welcoming back 9 World Cup players from 5 different countries. The most players of any team in the NWSL. The Seattle Reign will welcome back 2 players, although the injured Hope Solo will not be here on hand, but Megan Rapinoe sure will. That huge victory for the United States over Japan in the World Cup Championship match in Vancouver, BC was heard around the world, and tonight the Portland Thorns and their fans will have a chance to salute those players. A very, very special night. Can you believe it, Laura Schott? 21,000 plus on hand tonight to be a part of this.
And I can't believe it. It's an outstanding crowd. Just watching them now as they fill in. Even when it was about 3/4 full, it was just loud in here.
So let's get to it. And PA announcer Kevin Flink with the honors.
Australia, Canada, England, Germany, and the United States. Please help us welcome back from Australia, Steph Catley, and our newest Thorn, Claire Polkinghorn. From host country Canada, Rian Wilkinson, Kaylin Kyle, and Christine Sinclair. Making her final national team appearance for Germany, Nadine Ungerer. And from England, Jodie Taylor. On behalf of all Thorns supporters in the state of Oregon, Governor Kate Brown, accompanied by members of Girls Inc. of the Pacific Northwest, would like to officially welcome you back and honor you for your wonderful athletic achievements. Congratulations, and now please direct your attention to the video board for a recap of Team USA's World Cup journey. This group of women achieved something truly special this summer. They're the first country to win 3 Women's World Cup titles, the first ever women's sports team to be honored in a ticker tape parade, and just last week won the Best Team Award at the ESPYs. And now, let's show our appreciation to members of the world champion U.S. women's soccer team here with us tonight. From the visiting Seattle Reign, Megan Rapinoe. And from your Portland Thorns, Alex Morgan and Tobin Heath.
Lately, we've been so proud to say on the national team how we have the best fans in the world, because it is true, we do. But you, Portland, you guys are something else. You showed up in Canada huge. You show up week in and week out here at this stadium. And I'm just so proud to say that we have the best fans in the world for club and country. So to all the fans here today, the Rose City Riveters and the American Outlaws, thank you guys.
What a great moment that was, Laura Schott, as over 21,000 fans on hand to celebrate the World Cup returnees. And just on the cusp of this rivalry game about to be started, what a special night.
Oh, that was a special moment. She did an outstanding job with that, getting the crowd involved, complimenting the crowd, driving up by 5, attending that game.
You bet.
We really do have special fans here in Portland.
So again, the first ever sellout here at Providence Park, as the Portland Thorn fans will break their own record set last year with over 19,000 against Houston. So they'll sell out, they'll set another NWSL record. We talked about the atmosphere. You and I getting the chills when we look around Providence Park here. All of the, well, butts in seats, if you will, and a lot at stake, though. We know Chicago won tonight. Seattle needs the 3 points to stay right at their heels. And, of course, the Portland Thorns desperately needing the 3 points to climb back into the playoff race.
Yeah, they need to climb back into the playoff race, and they need to make a move for it now. They have 3 games in 8 days, and that's not no small order. They need to come out strong, press early. We talked to Coach Paul Riley earlier, and that's the plan for today.
The Portland Thorns, you mentioned Paul Riley. Finally, he has some wiggle room in terms of depth with the returnees coming. Now the bench becomes that much stronger with the likes of Shim coming off the bench.
Yeah, you'll see players like Shim come off the bench. Maybe she'll be a little looser because some of the pressure might be off. Sink is back, Heath is back. Maybe Long will loosen up a little as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing those players perform today.
An absolutely perfect night for soccer. Overcast, just the way the players like it. Low 70s, winds out of the northwest at 9 miles an hour. The hometown Thorns in their home kits, red from stem to stern. And it'll be a two-tone top for the Seattle Reign with purple shorts and purple socks. The Reign heading right towards the Riveters. The Thorns heading towards Mac Club. And we are underway, the Portland Thorns and Seattle Reign, presented by Nike. Both clubs coming into this match having lost their last game. A 3-0 setback by Seattle. You rarely see this club getting shut out. And the Thorns losing on the road as well, blanked by Sky Blue FC 1-0.
The Reign have done very well so far this season, and time will tell whether that was an outlier or whether maybe they're on a downstroke right now and the Thorns can take advantage of it.
So Megan Rapinoe back in the Seattle lineup. Hope Solo still nursing that injured left knee. Alex Morgan not able to go. Jody Taylor not able to go with injuries. Kyle with the faulty hamstring. Wilkinson injured as well.
It's amazing, and the amount of talent on the field even with those players out.
Yep. Can't wait to see how the Aussies do for the Portland Thorns. Pokinghorn making her Thorn debut. Catley making her 2015 debut. And here's Farley. Opening minutes here at Providence Park. Sellout crowd announced, first ever for the Portland Thorns. And of course the highest attended game in the league.
Good early attacking chance. They're trying to switch the point of attack, go forward, don't get the corner out of it, but good effort on that one.
Riley talked about how critical it is to try and kind of mitigate the scoring attack mode of a Little and a Fishlock. How difficult will that be?
Sounds like it'll be very, very difficult, according to Coach Paul Riley. They're two very good players. They've done very well with Rapinoe out. They've kind of taken the scoring load, and created a lot of attack for this team.
Keeping it in the offensive third. The cross not able to find the head of Sinclair. Sink leaves it. Heath, nice ball movement. Poking horn looks to go wide, and here's Van Hallebeck. Numbers forward for the Thorns. Little flick header from Heath. Again, the Seattle bunch, you certainly don't downplay the loss of Solo and Rapinoe in terms of who they sent to the World Cup, but they have had almost a full-strength club for the entire season. Catley really good with that left foot. That ball is loose.
Dangerous ball in. It looked like maybe a miscommunication between the goalkeeper and the defender.
Kottmeyer has been brilliant, as far as I'm concerned, for this Seattle bunch in the absence of Hope Solo. Yeah, I know she gave up those 3 goals as the Reign were blanked 3-0 on the road. But you take that game away, and she has been rock solid for the Reign.
It's no small task to step in for Solo.
Oh,
and
man.
To do well in that situation, kudos to her.
Kind of taking a page out of Betos' book a couple of years ago when
that's right,
she was the sub for Hope Solo and really generated a lot of interest because she was so steady.
That's right, not a World Cup year, but very similar.
So Kottmeyer will fling it to the right, and here comes Seattle. Midfield is going to be so critical for both clubs. Beautifully done by Menges. Farley, marked by Winters. 5th minute.
I like the patience out of the Thorns so far. They're not forcing anything. They're playing backward if it's crowded. Their patience, hopefully it pays off.
Both clubs kind of feeling each other out, wanting to control the midfield in order to get those numbers forward. Fishlock, this is where she is very, very dangerous. Just miss on the cross there. Pino wants to cut it back. Good D by Van Hallebeck. Quick throw in. It'll be interesting, great matchup between Rapinoe and Van Hallebeck. Paul wanting to go with Van Hallebeck because he thinks that the Thorn veteran defender knows Rapinoe so well and can kind of physical it up with her a little bit.
Van Hallebeck's a very physical player. She knows Rapinoe. They've played together, obviously, on the women's national team. Paul Riley's trying to neutralize that attack, and we'll see how it works.
Here's Rapinoe. Might be a short corner with Little hovering near the corner kick area. Driven low. We'll get it started there on a quick restart. Deflected nicely by the Thorns defense. Rapinoe got a huge roar of approval when she was introduced, one of 6 former pilots on the Seattle club alone.
Yeah, there's a big home contingent here, even for the Reign players as they play their collegiate ball at Portland.
We've basically made Sinclair a Portland native after what she did with the Pilots too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That career. When I look at those numbers, I have a hard time believing that they're real, but I watch them and I know that they're real. They're world class in college.
Your numbers were darn near up there. Cal's all-time leading scorer is sitting to my immediate right, and that takes into account other Cal alums, Alex Morgan and Joy Fawcett. So Laura Schott, you know your way around the goal, my friend.
Yeah, it was some time ago, but man, it was fun. I wish I could have played in front of more crowds like this.
Yeah, how about it, huh? Farley whistled for that infraction. At this very moment coming into this match, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody that would rival Farley for most valuable player on this club. Leads the club in minutes. She's got a couple of goals and an assist and has just been so clutch every single game for Riley, with all the absences due to the World Cup call-ups. Good step in by Heath. And Pino loses it out of bounds. Still scoreless here in the 8th minute. Going down hard is Rapinoe and slow to get up. Heath goes over, kind of laughing with her national team member. Gonna help her up. You gotta love that.
Absolutely. They just finished playing a couple weeks ago.
Heck yeah. Still a lot of love there.
Absolutely.
I'm stating the obvious on this next question, Laura, but you know, the Thorns rarely play with the lead. They're usually chasing. Let's just be really honest after the first couple games. How critical would a lead here be against Seattle?
Oh, it would be so critical. When leading at halftime, they win the majority of their games. So getting ahead of the game and pressing this Reign team, forcing them into mistakes. Perhaps like that one.
Yep.
That's a good game plan.
And yet, you got to stay relaxed, right, and play within the flow of the game.
You do, and you see the Thorns doing that at times. They're keeping possession. They're switching the point of attack. If it's not time to go forward, or if Sinclair's not faced up and looking to get the ball behind, she's receiving the ball to her feet and playing back and looking to get the ball somewhere else.
Winters trying to clear. There's Zerboni. Good physical play by Rapinoe forces the turnover. And there's Zerboni, quick throw in. I love that by Seattle. Little, so dangerous here. Van Hollebeck has her. The cross, it's deep. Whew.
Reign player well run off the ball there. Rapinoe's not always the most physical player, but I sure like seeing her take those throw-ins quickly.
I do too. Thorns defense in the right place at the right time, though, to deny. And when we have a second, I want to remind you that Alaska Airline flyers can now enjoy free entertainment to their own device. Learn more at alaskaair.com/beyond. I'm just waiting for Fishlock to start getting the engine going. She will be a handful for the entire mid and defensive set for the Portland Thorns. One of the most dynamic players in the league, along with Little, who has the ball and is double teamed. Good defense.
Yeah, Fishlock and Little are certainly on the scouting report, and if they start to break out, it may cause trouble for the Thorns.
Heath, nicely done to find Van Hollebeck. Closing in quickly is Fishlock. Smart to get it back to Tobin. Nice combination play there. Heath again wide to Van Hollebeck. Let's see if she can center and service. Zerboni will track it down far side.
I like that combination play between Heath and Farley. If they can continue to do that and get Heath open off the ball, they'll get attacking chances.
Nice cutback by Van Hollebeck and finds Heath. Good combination, one-touch play. Van Hollebeck, Sinclair.
Great chance. I like what Van Hollebeck is doing. She's getting forward, she's looking to cross, she's going at Rapinoe and getting it behind her. She's dangerous.
You can tell how Heath is just able to make sure that the touches are there for the right people. Spacing is just where it needs to be. The attack looks different, obviously, with her running the ship.
Heath works so smartly. She'll work off the ball when it's needed. You saw that combination play. You'll see her go at players when the game calls for it, but she doesn't force a lot. She's a very creative player as well. And look at her work rate to get back on defense there.
Both teams looking to put pressure on the back lines to see if they can force a turnover and a mistake. There's Fishlock, very aggressive, no foul call. There it is, but they're going to call it on Allie Long. Interesting. Definitely the physical play initiated by Fishlock, but she's smart enough, if she can get away with it, she's going to do it.
It's often the second foul that gets called.
You bet. Thirteenth minute. Ball driven. Nicely done by Van Hollebeck. But once again, Rapinoe and company is there. Dangerous here. Dangerous here.
That was a nice little run by Yanez.
I sure liked it. And, you know, obviously waved off. But Yanez is a player that we have got to keep an eye on. I mean, she comes into this match, does Beverly, with 6 goals to lead this club and an assist. Leads the team in shots on goal. She will take her shots. Let's see with the returning players if she's still that kind of threat. I really like her play.
She makes that run on the weak side. Defenders don't check their shoulder, they won't track her, and that can cause problems.
That's a great point. Keep your eye on number 17. Beautiful ball there. Menges is able to just get in the way enough. You know that Emily has got the foot speed. She showed it there.
Little to Fishlock, I don't think that's going to be the last time you see that.
They work so very well together. Laura Harvey with the luxury of having Little and Fishlock and Winters and Fletcher and Cox, all those players, Corsi and Barnes, Yanez, and yet Seattle still trails Chicago. Huge win by Chicago on the road today. Press's goal in the 89th minute is the game winner as Chicago, which leads the standings, defeats Boston on the road 2-1.
Chicago's certainly happy to have Press back with that 89th minute goal.
Both clubs really trying to take a page out of each other's books in terms of pressuring that ball and forcing turnovers. Winters guarding Heath. Good mark by there, and Heath gets rid of it. Catley looking for some space and for somebody to pass it to and find Sinclair. Let's see if Pokinghorn switches fields. These two teams are notorious for playing very close matches, regardless of venue. Sink almost won that foot race.
She did, and she's still got some speed in her, even though she's a little bit older now. She's not a player that I'd let go without putting a body on her.
There's the turnover. Ooh, and the foul. And that reaction by Fishlock was more of a, we can't turn the ball over on top of the box. That was a near turnover. Farley did a good job of playing cat and mouse, but whistled for the foul.
It's a very simple turnover.
Yep.
They got to connect those passes when they're only 15-yard passes. Very simple. Just keep the ball.
Sink triple teamed, and the header finds a Seattle Reign player, and here comes Kottmeyer. Final day of the regular season. Last year, Laura, these two clubs met. Portland had to have a win to make the playoffs, and they sealed the deal with the 1-0 victory. Morgan's goal, the difference maker on the long assist. So those are the 1-0 games we're talking about. A couple of those last year between these two teams. Whoa, Rapinoe. Now I wonder if the refs stand in and have a little chat with her there. Yeah, a little bit from Karen Apt.
It was a brief chat. Well, gamesmanship.
Yeah.
Don't want him to take the free kick early.
18th minute, scoreless here at Providence Park. Deep ball by Cat. Catley finds her countrywoman in Pokinghorn. That ball taken away, nicely done. Here comes Seattle. Little starting the counter. Portland, yeah.
Good counterattacking opportunity here, and they're able to break pressure and get it wide.
Beautiful job by Fishlock. But Heath returns the favor. Boy, you got to hurry for those 50-50 balls. Things picking up a little bit, Laura.
I like what Long did there. She could have forced it through the two defenders, but
Look
she
at
was
that
patient.
ball. Ooh, great ball by Heath. I wasn't sure if Long was going to let that go through to Farley or try to take it herself, but it will result in the corner.
It was her laying the ball back and then moving into space that created this corner now for the Thorns.
And as per usual, it'll be Ellie Long with the honors. Very accurate on these plays. Low line drive, kind of a knuckle sandwich to Sinclair. Ball skidding around. Look at Sink. Terrific hustle play by Sinclair. Zerboni, though, knocks it out of bounds.
It's unfortunate for the Thorns that pass didn't connect. They'd be able to get the ball out wide with some time, maybe keep the pressure on in the final third.
Fishlock gives it up. Farley tries to keep it in play and does. Pokinghorn. Riley said he really appreciates how even-keeled Claire plays. Not up, not too high, not too low. The crowd won't get to her. She'll just be nice and level-headed. Into space. Running onto it. Beautiful ball. Sink. Just barely late as Kottmeyer comes off her line. Nicely played, though.
It was nicely played by Kottmeyer. She came out in those situations. You don't want to give Sink the opportunity to get in behind you. If she steps out and she picks up that ball, helps her defense out.
Barnes did a really nice job at the last second, kind of cutting off the angle that Sink was looking for. Just kind of screen and Sink away from that ball while Kottmeyer mopped up coming off her line. Nicely played by Lauren Barnes, the veteran.
There have been times in possession that the Thorns have gotten caught holding the ball a bit too long, and the rain looked to be double teaming, and at times it's working. So the Thorns may need to look to play 1-2 touch, play a little quicker. When they're playing the ball quickly, playing 1-2 touch and moving off the ball, it seems to be working for them in possession.
How tough is it, though, when you are the one double teamed to get that control on the touch and make the accurate pass?
The difficult thing about that situation is when you get stuck in that double team, it's really important that your teammates are moving off the ball and giving you the option to then possess. And if you don't have that, you don't have an out.
Both clubs obviously understand the main targets with the opposing club's offenses. And the defense for both teams equal to the task. There's a heck of a battle with Heath and Cox. No hesitation, and here comes Little. So dangerous in the open. Skipping over it is Yanez. And again, an appreciative crowd saluting the Thorns defense.
Fishlock to Little, to Yanez again. I like that little slip pass that she was looking for to penetrate the back line. Very creative.
Yanez just frustrated as well, though, with kind of a swing and a miss. Farley whistled for that foul, and another quick restart again by Seattle. They'll reload from their back line. Rapinoe dispossessed. Heath does a great job of controlling and holding off. Wow, no foul there. Interesting. Heath's still wondering what's going on. She'll get up and get back into play, but Seattle's got something going. Great play by Van Hollebeck, but there's the little squirter inside to Rapinoe. Oh, Menges. Matthias was flying in from the weak side.
Absolutely. You always have to be aware of those dangerous runs that Rapinoe can make. When the ball's on her left foot, she can swing the ball in with those crosses. Got to make sure you get pressure to the ball, and the Thorns did, but give up the corner.
23rd minute, another corner kick for Rapinoe and the Reign. Beautiful ball, but just didn't have enough juice, and Betos plucks it out of the air. Unfortunate break there. Cox tries to get it into play quickly and does. Van Hollebeck from behind dispossesses Rapinoe. Sinclair all over the field. Little punch to Long, who doesn't have any numbers. Allie trying to stay with it and does. 24 minutes into this match, Laura Schott. Anybody that you think has the momentum? What are you seeing so far?
Haven't seen a lot of dangerous chances. A lot of this game is played in the middle third. We're getting into the final third for each team at times, but as I said, nothing particularly dangerous.
Okay, so the next question, how do the Thorns become more attack-minded or at least more efficient in that final offensive third? Putting you on the spot here, my friend.
Well, right now, they're doing some good things in possession. When they lose the ball, those easy giveaways are happening on both sides. They're happening to the Reign, they're happening to the Thorns, and a lot of those are a product of you just need better angles. There's not necessarily always a lot of pressure on the ball, but the players off the ball need to give a better angle so that the Thorns can connect more simply, and then after they've possessed for a bit, maybe something will materialize, an opportunity will present itself, and they can go forward.
I like that. You saw that angle piece with Sinclair as she was bearing down on Kottmeyer. Didn't quite get the angle as Barnes was able to kind of throw her off that path. Dangerous here. You know Rapinoe would have let that thing fly.
Van Hollebeck was smart to let that one go, to clear it, to get it out of danger.
Zerboni gives it up. There's Winters. Seattle doing a nice job of working both sides of the pitch. There's Menges marking Yanez. Winters thought she might pull the trigger. Rapinoe, again, Van Hollebeck has been all over the field so far tonight. One of her better matches, to be sure, at this point. Beautiful ball to Cox. Gotta watch and be careful here. Winters looking for the turnover, really pressuring Long. Allie does a nice job of holding her off.
Very well done by Allie Long to keep the ball there, take the extra touch, allow the backs to step forward a bit and present their feet so they can keep possession.
27th minute, scoreless in front of a record-setting crowd here at Providence Park. The sellout announced a couple of hours before this match. Over 21,000. The best ever for the Portland Thorns, the best ever for the NWSL. The Thorns just keep breaking their own attendance records. Zerboni fouled by Little. Easy call to make and a quick restart. Gets Heath the ball.
Thorns do a good job in possession there, allowing Zerboni to get up.
Long on her horse. Sends it right back to Van Hallebeck. She gives it up. They're going to have to get back. Teams exchanging turnovers, Laura.
Yeah, you're seeing that a lot. Maybe it's nerves, maybe it's the crowd, maybe it's a little bit of chemistry being off because they're adding new players in from the World Cup that haven't been around for a bit. There are a number of things that can cause that, but maybe as the match progresses, those things will subside.
You know, you were at practice a couple of times this week. I think everybody's got to be patient in terms of integrating these players.
Absolutely. You can't expect chemistry to come overnight. Even though they're world-class players and they're professionals, those things develop over time, over practice, over understanding each other, how people move with the ball. They don't just happen when people arrive after a World Cup.
Great point. Heath gave it up in the middle, and she's chasing. Here's Fishlock. She'll turn and go direct. Little with the speed by Polkinghorne. There's Menges to fill. Yanez. Ooh. Great ball to Yanez, who set that thing over the crossbar. Nicely played by Seattle.
Very nicely played by Seattle. Again, you see Little finding Yanez there. That ball sails just over the crossbar. Very dangerous chance.
Little, last year's Golden Boot and MVP award winner for this Seattle bunch, has the 4 goals and 4 assists last year. Or excuse me, this year. Last year she had 17 goals and 7 assists as the Portland Reign narrowly lost to FC Kansas City in the NWSL title game.
That was an outstanding game. FC Kansas City was a very good team last year. Fun final to watch.
Yep. Up in Seattle, disappointing loss for the Reign. Here's offside. The flag came up before Allie went down.
You see that every so often. You could think maybe she was onside, but she started off when the ball was struck. She came back to the ball, was momentarily back onside, but when the ball was struck, she was in the offside position and then came back. So good call by the assistant.
Very quick and emphatic on the call just before Allie went down. Here's Matthias. Was a key player for Kansas City last year in that drive to the title, and now she's with Seattle, is Matthias. 31st minute. Scoreless here at Providence Park. The Seattle Reign second place in the standings at 6-3-3, taking on the Portland Thorns at 3-4-4. A win tonight by the Thorns would put them in 5th place and just a point behind FC Kansas City. Huge match. As Riley said, we need it more than they do. I agree. Polkinghorne giving it up. Seattle returns the favor. The crowd hasn't had a whole lot to cheer about offensively. Smart play by Sinclair. I think she thought that Farley was going to cut towards the ball, but here comes Seattle on the counter. Nice job by Menges as Yanez was streaking, hoping to get that ball on her foot.
I like the build-up there from Seattle, but Menges did a good job to cut out the final pass.
Folks, you can fill up with 8 gallons or more at participating 76 stations to receive a voucher for 2 free general admission Thorn tickets. Visit timbers.com/76 for more details. A lot of real estate. Stepping in at the last second to knock that ball away from Rapinoe was Van Hallebeck. Rachel has been all over the place, as we mentioned. Key play right there.
Rachel's been doing an outstanding job so far in this game. Matching up against Rapinoe off the World Cup is no small order, and she's doing a very good job. I'd like to see if the Thorns can be a little bit more physical with Little. She's so dynamic, and when she's on the ball, she's hard to stop. So preventing her from getting the ball may be key to stopping her.
Well, that's what Paul really wanted, is to limit the touches by Little and Fishlock. Cox stepping in front of Heath, and again, the ball staying in Seattle's offensive side of things. Little just won't get knocked off that ball.
No, she doesn't, and she keeps possession well again there.
Matthias and Menges. Matthias trying to turn that corner. Emily sticking with her. Good battle there in the 34th minute.
Another corner. These set pieces may become key to the game.
Yeah.
The game stays tight like this.
You're reading my mind. Seattle's had a bunch of them. Betos directing traffic, getting the start tonight instead of Nadine Angerer. As Paul Riley said, Betos has earned it. The players think so too. Angerer aware of what was going to happen when she came back. That ball is loose.
See the work rate of Sinclair here to help put pressure on the ball.
Yanez chipped away from behind. Good defense by the Thorns. Van Hallebeck has been relentless, especially in that 18 and near the 6. Without a doubt, one of Van Hallebeck's best matches of the season.
Last season team may have tried to play quickly there out of the throw-in. Sinclair puts her hand up, slows down the game. She had just made that run to clear the ball, maybe a bit winded. She gets an opportunity to get high again, and the Thorns can attack.
Giveaway by Menges. Matthias charging, Catley coming in to knock it away, but here we go again.
Little and Cox, that's a dangerous duo on the corners.
Little standing over it, giving way to Stephanie Cox, one of the many former Portland Pilot players on the Seattle club. Here she comes with the left foot. Corsi keeping it alive and leaving it. Miss hit by Pino.
It's a good job by Corsi there to make that late run and keep the ball in play. Get the ball to Pino, who didn't put it on frame that time, but obviously that's a spot you want to get her the ball in. Should be very dangerous inside the box.
Nice addition, Rachel Corsi, for this Seattle club. Yeah, she and Kim Little, teammates on the Scottish national team, know each other very, very well, and it shows on the pitch. Sink trying to find Tobin. Dangerous here for Matthias. Cat trying to disrupt. And shot right on frame, but right at Betos.
Very dangerous giveaway. Matthias on the counter there, drove at the back line. Dangerous opportunity, but Betos solid in goal.
Dodging a bullet there were the Portland Thorns. .38th minute, scoreless between these two rivals. Good D by Cox. And here's Rapinoe. Fletcher gives it up to Corsi, and here we go.
I like what Rapinoe did there. She played the ball out to the right, get the ball wide, a little bit of patience here out of the rain. See if they can generate something out of this patient, maybe find Cox on the left.
Stretching the defense, both clubs trying to do that, but to then work the middle. Seattle doing a bit of a better job at this point. Again, Van Hallebeck disrupting the Seattle attack. Kottmeyer way off her line. She felt Sinclair coming from 30 yards away.
The way Kottmeyer's playing it, it seems that she wants to be high off her line to prevent that run by Sinclair and behind the back line. That was timed very well. The ball played a little bit too far. She comes out and takes it.
Sinclair in her first game back for the Thorns since playing with her Canadian national team. Wonder if she's a little gassed at this point. Farley, no problem for Kottmeyer.
Kottmeyer's been solid so far. That last game, they lost 3-0. At this point, it doesn't seem to have rattled her.
She looks very confident, no doubt about it. The new guacamole burger or chicken sandwich at McDonald's made with Haas avocado, served with freshly made pico de gallo, a slice of lime. Try it today, paired with your choice of sizzling 100% beef or tender, delicious chicken at participating McDonald's. Switching fields nicely is Rapinoe, who goes down again. Finally getting up, and Cox will find her. Nice job by Alley to disrupt. Here comes Heath and company on the counter. Zerboni. Touch failed her there, and here comes Little. Little so good on the ball. Cut off by Polkinghorn. Fishlot.
One of the few times Little was turned back there. That was well defended. If you turn her back, you've done a good job defending her when she's on the run. It's very difficult to do.
Wondering if Portland can get something going on this counter. There's Heath, marked by Cox. Good battle there, and Tobin just sends it right back. Giveaway there. Beautifully played by Cat Williamson, Captain Cat. Just poke checked that thing away. 42nd minute, scoreless here at Providence Park. Overflow crowd, record-setting crowd here to watch the Thorns and arch rival Seattle. These two teams will meet again up in the Emerald City on Sunday. Little home and home series.
Playing games so quickly back to back is very hard to do. Winning the home game that you have in those situations is very important.
And Portland's schedule gets brutal real quick. That's why tonight, in front of such a great crowd, is absolutely critical for the Thorns to pick up some points. Nice job by Alley, but it'll be Seattle's throw-in. Karen App talking to Zerboni. Who knows about what?
Not sure what that conversation was.
I didn't see anything off the ball myself. Portland was hoping to force some kind of a turnover in that area of the field, but so far Seattle's done a really nice job. Catley able to flag down that long pass, but Portland gives it right up to Winters. 43rd minute, really a crucial time for both clubs.
You can see a little bit of impatience building as the half is worn on. Teams have kept possession, but then they try to force something maybe that isn't there yet. And when that's happening, the easy turnovers occur. In this situation, the team that's able to keep possession and then start to use that to materialize then into the final pass and the dangerous chances, that team will probably create the dangerous chances going into the second half here.
Matthias has had the best opportunity for either club with that rocket shot, but right at Betos. Portland yet to really test Kottmeyer. No Hope Solo for Seattle because of that injured left knee. And you wonder how long she might be out, because today the Reign signed Carolyn Stanley, and that will give this club roster depth at the goalkeeper position.
That addition certainly puts the question out there, why they added a goalkeeper at this point, what that injury is, how long it might last.
Turnover, Zerboni heavy on the touch to Long. Yeah, Stanley was on the roster as an amateur call-up for the past 9 matches for Seattle, while obviously Solo was away. So now signed as Hope Solo battles that injury. Obviously the Thorns missing Jody Taylor and Alex Morgan, injured as well for the Thorns. Leaving it wide. We're heading into stoppage time. Not going to be much on the clock as play has sped along.
There really hasn't been a lot of stoppage in this game. 1 minute seems completely appropriate. There haven't been injuries, no one's been taken off, there haven't been cards. The flow of the game has really progressed, moved along very naturally without any stoppages.
Gosh, the most time taken off the clock was when the referee was talking to Zerboni. Uh-oh, here comes Fishlock in a lot of room. Wow, Little just throws poking horn off of her, and here's Cox. Beautiful ball. Oh, a golden opportunity for the Seattle Reign goes by the wayside as Betos was out of position, but the Reign could not connect.
Yeah, Fishlock got in there, and then Matthias made the run to the far post. Ball just cleared Fishlock.
Yep.
Very good opportunity.
And Catley is down. Remember, she has been battling that right heel contusion, and she is very slow, is the Australian international, to get up, but is on her feet, and the crowd lets her know they appreciate it.
What a great performance she had in the World Cup. She's
oh man,
an outstanding player.
Feel badly for Pokinghorn, the captain, but unable to play in the World Cup because of injuries. Glad to have her healthy as she makes her Portland Thorn debut tonight.
So unfortunate for Australia to lose that co-captain. She's a difference maker.
And that'll do it for the first half of this match. A defensive battle so far in front of a sellout crowd here at Providence Park. We are scoreless at half between the Thorns and the Seattle Reign, and I promise you folks, you're going to want to stick around. We've got a very special, and I mean very, very special guest coming up at halftime So we'll be back in just a couple of minutes as our halftime show commences.
Don't do it! Your account balance is $38. How much is that?
It's $40.
40. With an overdraft fee of $35? Is that blouse really worth $75? It doesn't even have sleeves.
We have shirts with sleeves.
Don't get charged overdraft fees. Switch to the new KeyBank hassle-free account. It's a checkless account with payment options and no monthly fees.
From an early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Dad would say,
Eres un abocado, mijo. Eres especial.
Dad was right. I was ripe for big things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole made with Haas avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
Hey sports fans, do you want to get in shape? Text LA Fitness to 50500 for a complimentary guest pass to your local LA Fitness. That's LA Fitness to 50500. Exercise your options.
It's not far now.
Where is this park? Looks kind of closed.
Make summer fun with a Mini Cooper Countryman for $199 a month and $44.80 due at signing at Mini of Portland.
You don't need a little black dress, or fancy reservations, or even an apron. All you need for this gourmet meal is a preheated oven and a comfy spot on the couch. Home-baked Papa Murphy's Herb Chicken Mediterranean Delight with fresh spinach, chicken, feta, and sun-dried tomatoes on a crispy thin crust. Just $10 for a large. Fresh made, fresh baked. Papa Murphy's. Love at 425 degrees.
And welcome to the KeyBank halftime show. We are at Providence Park. 0-0, that's the score at half between the Portland Thorns and Seattle Reign in front of a sellout crowd of over 21,000 here at Providence Park, a new NWSL record, and of course it's the Portland Thorn fan base that sets it. Just a marvelous night here at Providence Park, but we are scoreless with the Reign and the Thorns. We promised you a special guest, and we deliver the goods on our promises. Alex Morgan, thank you so much for taking the time. I'd rather see you down there on the pitch, but by golly, thank you for being up here with us.
Of course, yeah, I would rather be down on the pitch too.
Okay, so walk us through how rehab is going. We know you had the minor surgery last week. When we say minor, is that still a scary thing to go through, or how's it going?
I mean, you never want to have surgery unless it's absolutely necessary, but, you know, we proved that, you know, throughout the World Cup, just dealing with something new, so it came up, I had to get it, but it's a 3 to 4 week thing, and I'll be back on the field soon, so I'm hoping to be healthy and injury-free once I get back on the field.
Do you even know what city you're in, what day it is, what month it is? It has been an absolute whirlwind for you and the U.S. women's national team winning that World Cup, and then the explosion of appearances all over the country.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind, honestly, and appearances have come up like day to day. It's like I feel like I have a free schedule, and then all of a sudden it just fills up. But it's really great to be here. It feels like I'm home, and I haven't felt like I've been home in a really long time. So just living at a hotel is not ideal for anyone. So coming home today and then being here in front of 21,000 fans, it was the best welcoming.
You know, in that ceremony before the match started, when you had a chance to talk to the fans, you almost embraced them. It felt like you were giving them an absolute hug, and you called them the best fans in the world.
They are. They really are, and I wanted to tell them that. I mean, you know, Portland had kind of drafted up something for me to just say, you know, give my support, but I really wanted to speak from the heart and tell them how I felt, and I was a little nervous because I didn't want to mess it up, and I had thought yesterday what I wanted to say, but I wanted to keep it short, and I felt like I got my message across.
So take us back to the journey of the World Cup. So much pressure. So many expectations. Everybody's an expert. And you guys kind of hunkered down, bunkered down, and never let any of the distractions get to you. It was a marvelous thing to witness.
Yeah, it was interesting being on the inside and making sure that we keep that bubble intact. Honestly, there was a lot of things said throughout the group play and even before the tournament. So as we went along in the tournament, gaining momentum a little bit, playing our best that we've played each game as we went on, and finally getting to Germany and then Japan, we felt like finally when we got over that hump of group play, you know, nothing was going to stop us, and we had that belief in each other, and it was just like nothing, no media, no opponent, nothing is going to wear us down.
Can you even articulate what it meant to hoist that cup? Is it sometimes do you think to yourself, did we really do that?
Yeah, honestly, I had a moment this morning when I was flying up here to just take a moment and realize what had happened, because you honestly work for this your entire life. You dream of this. The World Cup is the best thing in our sport, and we had hundreds of thousands, millions of people watching around the world. So for that all to come in one moment as we hoisted that trophy, it's hard to realize that and grasp that in the moment. So I kind of find myself thinking about it and just realizing the hard work and the sacrifices that each one of us have gone through and the journeys that have got us there, and the fact that we were able to do it together. So
I'm imagining you at the age of 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And much has been made of the sticky note that you wrote to yourself and to your mom as a witness. I will be a professional player. I am going to be somebody in girls and women's soccer.
Yeah.
Is that note still around, and do you draw from that?
Oh yeah, the note is still around. My mom still has it.
God bless your mom.
I know. I can't believe it. It was on her like office wall for like 10 or 15 years.
Brilliant.
So thank goodness that it worked out in my favor. But no, I mean it's true. You know, it's a dream of mine that I'm living today, and so it's really exciting to see all these young girls here and seeing that their dreams can come alive, and the fact that it's really exciting to be able to watch us week in and week out in their backyard here in the NWSL and in front of 21,000 fans.
You know, the ESPYs, the parade in New York City, Jimmy Kimmel, which you rocked, and yet here you are just loving the moment, and the Thorns fans desperately wanting you back. Hopefully that will happen.
Soon. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Good. I'm going to hold you to that.
Okay.
Tell your mom to keep that sticky note. Do we have a deal?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. And thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the journey of all journeys. Your life has changed, and that's a beautiful thing. World Cup champion, Alex Morgan, one of the Portland Thorns' greatest. Warms my heart. Thanks for joining us. Back in just a second.
You wake up. Back hurts. Again. You need a new mattress, but hate shopping for one. Just go to a Park Lane. In Oregon. Sold only in Park Lane stores at a true minimum price. They'll match the way you sleep to the Park Lane's best for you. Delivered in 2 trucks. The blue one only delivers fresh Park Lanes. The green one only hauls old mattresses to recycling. Enjoy every night on a Park Lane. Rest well for years to come.
Tire Factory doesn't make tires. They will make you happy by selling top brands like Goodyear, Nokian, and Hankook. So why the name? Well, 30 years ago, over coffee at a Sherry's, 5 tire store owners reasoned if they combined their purchases, they could save their customers money. Worked then, works now, with over 200 stores in the West. See for yourself. Need tires or service? Trust what you love to Tire Factory, where you always have the owner's name on it.
From an early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Dad would say,
Eres un has abocado, mijo. Eres especial.
Dad was right. I was ripe for big things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole made with Haas avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
Welcome back to the KeyBank halftime show. We're at Providence Park, where over 21,000 fans have packed the joint for the NWSL matchup between the hometown Portland Thorns and Seattle Reign. We are scoreless at half. Ann Schatz along with Laura Schott. Laura, you've played in big-time matches from high school to college to the U.S. national team. You understand big moments. It would appear that so far Seattle has had a few more of those big moments and scoring opportunities.
Seattle has perhaps had the edge on scoring opportunities. Little is so dynamic in the middle. She's doing an outstanding job. Rapinoe on the ball. I'd like to see Cox and Rapinoe on the Reign side connect a little bit more.
Okay.
Those Portland alumni, I think that they have some chemistry, they have some history. I'd like to see that connection happen. On the Thorns side, I'd like to see players making runs off of Sinclair a little more consistently.
Okay.
Right now they're playing Sinclair and there's not a lot of movement, and if they can generate that movement, the Thorns will generate more chances.
How much do you think Paul Riley will go to his bench as far as the depth now becoming something that he can at least play with a little bit?
It's hard to say in such a tight game,
Okay.
but again, they have 3 games in 8 days.
Right.
So he's going to have to go to his bench.
And the play of Michelle Betos so far?
She's been outstanding. I haven't seen her bobble a ball. She's come out and taken crosses very comfortably. She looks great.
She and Kottmeyer, the respective keepers for these clubs, have been very solid between the pipes for both teams. All right, that'll do it for the second half of our halftime show, KeyBank halftime show, by the way. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, and then we'll spoon feed you some highlights, so stick around.
Don't do it! Your account balance is $38. How much is that?
It's $40.
40. With an overdraft fee of $35? Is that blouse really worth $75? It doesn't even have sleeves.
We have shirts with sleeves.
Don't get charged overdraft fees. Switch to the new KeyBank hassle-free account. It's a checkless account with payment options and no monthly fees.
From an early age, I knew I was destined for greatness. Dad would say,
Eres un abocado, mijo. Eres especial.
Dad was right. I was ripe for big things. Not typical expected things, but bold, more exciting things. So I carried on until one day I found my true calling.
Discover new guacamole sandwiches at McDonald's with freshly made pico de gallo and guacamole with Haas avocados.
I made the big time, Dad.
Pilots with numbers. Rapinoe sees it, and it's it!
Octavius, tee it up. Shot on target! What a goal! Thorns looking to cross. Let's go! In front! Clear! Right at the keeper! And then Christian puts it away!
You have fun, you will win, and you'll make me very, very happy.
Back at Providence Park, the Portland Thorns and Seattle Reign scoreless at halftime. Over 21,000 fans packing the joint to set a new NWSL attendance record. Halftime in front of that sellout crowd. And we've got highlights to show you. Sinclair, Christine, back in action for the Thorns. Great to have her back.
Great ball from Hollaback. Sinclair gets up. Keeper comes out and takes it, but good opportunity.
Heath back as well from World Cup. Betos had to come up big towards the end, especially right here.
That was a great opportunity for the Reign. The header sails just over the bar.
And here's the save.
Good hold by Betos. No bobble. Doesn't give up. A follow.
Kat Williamson doing just enough to try to take the edge off of that Matthias shot. It was a bullet, but right at Betos. And quite frankly, Seattle in stoppage time almost had a goal on that far post opportunity that was bungled a little bit by the rain. And the game is scoreless.
That was a nice opportunity to finish the half. Luckily for the Thorns, they got out of the half without that materializing into a goal. But in this second half, I'm excited to see who connects and doesn't give up that easy turnover, and then who's able to turn that into chances in the final third.
So the Thorns in their home kits of all red will start the second half. The Portland Thorns and Seattle Reign presented by Nike. Thorns heading now towards the Riveters, while Seattle will reverse direction and pepper that Mac Club crowd. Heath leaving it wide for Van Hollebeck. She was outstanding in that first half. Sink trying to get ahead on it. There's Farley, ball loose. Catley dancing, trying to get past Yanez. Leaving it, Sink, can't just barely out of reach on that one.
Nice little near post run there. The flick inside could have been dangerous. Great idea. Didn't materialize that time. Maybe next.
Here's Allie. Sink with the touch. The left foot is high. She gives a thumbs up to Allie Long on that pass.
Absolutely. That was a great pass. Great look. Didn't go in, but Sinclair, you want her in that position. She doesn't miss often.
Turnover. There's the trip. Allie goes down. Nothing called. Long was hoping for that whistle. Portland coming out with a vengeance. Game getting physical. Polkinghorne is dispossessed. Rapinoe wants to carry. Clever play by Megan. Van Hollebeck again in the right place at the right time, put the brakes on and was able to steal that pass away from Cox.
Van Hollebeck again. She's just been solid on that right side.
Matthias clipped by Polkinghorne. She goes down, and the late whistle will result in the foul against Claire.
Polkinghorne's got caught in possession, perhaps a little bit more often than she should. It seems to be part of the Reign's game that they'll double down on her. They'll put a lot of pressure on her, and then she's dispossessed. And in a situation like that, sometimes you can get frustrated, or sometimes it's a little bit of gamesmanship to foul just to stop play.
Seattle leads the league in goals scored as a collective team with 24. 11 more than what the Thorns have. Nothing called there. Nicely played by Farley.
Little indecision there by the Reign. Zerdoni comes through and cleans it up, gets it out for a throw-in.
Scoreless here in the 49th minute. Reminder of how closely played the matches are between these two teams. A lot of 1-0 scores. Saw a couple of those last year. Both teams coming away with victories by that tally. Oh, Tobin had the easy giveaway, but she plays keep away with Cox and is finally able to possess. Flick header by Sink right to the chest of Allie. Little miscommunication there.
Yeah, Long ended up playing that ball in behind to no one really, but I like that Sink presented herself, and I really like that Long made that run in behind. Sinclair and Long can connect very well, and we didn't see enough of that in the first half. I like seeing it on the onset of this second half.
Little from behind. She goes down after she had given it up. sink, and look at Kottmeyer. That play whistled.
Might be a tactical change here by Coach Riley. He seems to have pressed long higher, but by the rain, they seem to be holding a higher line. They look to be perhaps trying to pull one of those two offside, and they were successful that time.
Beautiful night for soccer here in Portland, Oregon. 68 degrees right now. Winds out of the northwest, but not much, about 9 miles an hour. Just a great night for soccer. And here comes Seattle. Rapinoe. Got to be frustrated with that.
Well, you don't see that very often out of her. That one sailed off the line. Good ball in from her former college teammate Cox. But that's a position you always want to see Pino in. You want to see her get in line. You want to see her generating those crosses. Oftentimes they're very dangerous.
Rapinoe with a magnificent performance in the World Cup, without a doubt.
She really started that World Cup off on the right foot, scoring those 2 goals and getting them out of that Australia game with a win when the game was a little choppy.
She was fantastic. Speaking of end-to-end, she was fantastic, was Rapinoe, that entire tournament. And I love the way Alex Morgan played. Only scored the 1 goal. But boy, she was dangerous so often. Really stretched the defense and let some others do the scoring.
She did. She played a good point, which I'm not sure that that's always her strong suit. Usually you want to have her fan out and look to play her in behind because of her speed and because she's so dangerous. If you get her to make those runs and behind the defense off the ball, she can receive the ball behind the defense and go to goal. But she did a great job playing the point and then also mixing in those runs.
Alex Morgan, who we were delighted to have as our halftime guest, undergoing minor surgery. Hopes to be back in a Thorns uniform in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And was obviously tickled in that pregame ceremony to address the crowd, called them the best. And there's 21,000 here as the flag goes up tonight.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
Before the game.
That was cool as heck.
She got the crowd going.
Today's game is streaming thanks to Elemental Technologies, a software company based right here in downtown Portland. Elemental helps broadcasters and media brands stream video of major sporting events like the Winter Olympics and the FIFA Women's World Cup. Learn more and check out careers at elementaltechnologies.com. 53rd minute here at Providence Park, scoreless. Menges showing her speed. Was able to at least disrupt Matthias a little bit, who's got some jets of her own. Fishlock. So clever coming out of that as Little. Winters. Fletcher. Hawked by Farley. Patient Seattle Reign attack. Portland Thorns defense, though, is organized. Let's see who blinks first.
Fletcher did a good job to try and go 1v1 there on the wing, but when she wasn't able to, she didn't give up the ball, she didn't force it. She gave it a try, and she played backward and kept possession. Smart play.
Fishlock goes down hard. Zerboni clipped her. This is a dangerous, dangerous position for the Thorns to be in. Betos punches it out. Seattle able to keep it in their third, and a sliding tackle, nicely done. Farley playing that well.
What a great play. Confident play by Betos to come out and punch that away in the crowd.
A throw in for Fletcher. Seattle keeping the ball in its offensive third. Yanez knocking it off of Catley. So here we go again. in terms of another dangerous set piece opportunity for this Seattle bunch. Cox taking her time. Leaves this club in corners taken. Betos again aggressively coming off the line. Keeping it in play nicely is Little. She has been all over the pitch. Betos skying.
Wow, that was impressive.
Man.
To come out and catch that cleanly. She didn't punch it, she just came out and caught it.
Because Fletcher was right there, and Betos, with all kinds of confidence and hops, saves the day. Interesting line drive delivery from Betos, and here comes Farley. Near sideline, Catley on the overlap. Zerboni nicely done. Here's Sink. Sink goes down after she gives it up, and on the counter, the handball is going to be called against the Seattle Reign as Sink is slow to get up. Zerboni felt the heat of the double and triple team break there. Long, can't squirt it through to Sinclair. Winners will collect.
Long perhaps tried to force it through a crowd there. There were 3 Reign players all around Sinclair. If you can play that ball over the defense or get that ball through the defense, obviously it's going to be a fantastic chance to get Sinclair on the goal, 1v1 with the goalkeeper.
57th minute, so much anticipation and buildup for this match. The high-flying Seattle Reign and the return of all of those World Cup players for the Portland Thorns. Sellout crowd, but neither team has found the back of the net yet. Zerboni dispossessed. Little, so dangerous here. Little, oh, the finish. So the turnover in the 57th minute results in the goal by Kim Little, her 4th, or excuse me, her 5th.
Kim Little, she's been impressive this whole game. When she's gone at players, she's been able to beat people 1v1. She's been 1v2, 1v3. She's even gone at players. And it's obvious that she has been successful in doing so. She gets by the defense, slots it home, clinical finish, great goal.
Little celebrating her 5th goal as that tally gives Seattle the 1-0 lead in the 57th minute. Without a doubt, the best 1v1 player for this Seattle club, and she showed why there as she buries it.
Coach Riley talked about the importance of being physical with her and making sure that she's not on the ball, faced up, going at. Obviously, that opportunity for Little, she put it away, and that's why she's so dangerous. When she gets faced up, she goes at, again, she's 1v1, 1v2. It doesn't matter. For her, in her mind, she is a very dynamic player. She's going to go to goal.
So Seattle leading it 1-0 on that goal in the 57th minute. Seattle had been knocking at the door. And Little, such a great finisher, left no doubt about that one.
Up until that moment, I really thought for the first 10 minutes of this half that the Thorns have done a better job of getting Little off the ball. In that moment, though, and you know, Coach Paul Riley mentioned this as well, and people who watch soccer, you know, it can only take one opportunity at times, and fantastic player will put it away.
And the turnover resulted in Little getting that ball with some space, but then she really showed how clever she is with the ball and head up as she bore down on Betos, who had no chance. Nice job by Sinclair. Little chip. Going down hard is Long, who again, whoa.
We don't want to see that. We want those players on the field.
Long and Fishlock have some words. Allie thought that the whistle should have been blown. And lost in all this is the fact that Io will make her first appearance on the pitch as Poking Horn comes out. A nice job by Claire in her Thorns debut. So Io on the pitch for some offensive spark.
Io's a quick player. She likes to go forward. In a game when you're down 1-0, 30 minutes left, putting in somebody who might add a spark, might go to goal, might get a chance. You got to go for it.
There's the offside flag. Hey folks, the new guacamole burger or chicken sandwich at McDonald's, made with Hass avocado, served with freshly made pico de gallo, slice of lime. Try it today, paired with your choice of sizzling 100% beef or tender, delicious chicken at participating McDonald's. 61st minute, Portland again chasing and playing catch up. Goals tough to come by.
You see Portland in this situation. They're down a goal. They go to a two-front system, looking to generate more chances, press the defense a little bit more.
Little had made the run, but Rapinoe wasn't able to find her. Here's Yanez on this near side. Boy, I like the idea by Fletcher there.
Fletcher sends in a nice ball to the back of the 6. Has two players, two teammates making a run there. It's an intelligent ball.
This team, the Rain will tell you, is just different with Kendall Fletcher in the lineup. Missed that last game against Washington, a 3-0 setback. Defense just couldn't get settled. Nothing really coming out of the midfield. Fletcher, that kind of an unsung, below the radar difference maker. Doesn't score a lot, but boy, does she organize.
She organizes. She's solid on that right side defensively. And today she sent in a number of dangerous crosses.
Goes flying. Let's see if the counter with sinking some real estate can result in anything. Looked like a handball finally called. And there's a player down for the Seattle Reign on the defensive third. I can't tell who it is. Looks like a cramp, but we're not gonna, I shouldn't even guess. Looked like it was Fletcher.
In these situations at times with such an intelligent player like Fletcher, the Thorns were going to play quickly. They had a player down the line. She was making a run on the left side. They were looking to play it and go to goal as fast as they could. And she went down with a cramp. She may have a cramp. She may have it resolved very quickly.
Fletcher stretching it out on the sidelines. Let's see if the Thorns can do something with this interesting set piece. Heath standing over the ball. Kottmeyer barking directions. Interesting idea, almost found the foot of Io.
And that was a good look. There was a gap in the defense there, and Io made the run. Yanez did a very good job to run her off the ball.
Little nice combination play. She hits the deck. He helps her up.
Little is just hard to track.
Oh man.
You can tell that Coach Harvey gives her a lot of opportunity to go where she wants to go and wander, because when she gets the ball, she's so dangerous. So she goes and seeks out the ball and then goes at defenses, and she's very good at it.
Laura Harvey, one of the more aggressive coaches and general managers in this league in terms of trade. And when they brought Little on board, the likes of, you know, Little and Fishlock, and really understanding the great trade she had to make to turn this team into a perennial contender. She's done a great job with this club.
Callie did a good job to seal off the gap there and win the ball. Make sure that we keep possession. Make sure that the Thorns are able to switch the point of attack. Some defenders will hold back. They won't go forward and make sure that the ball stays sealed in that final third, but she did a good job to go forward and do that.
Heath showing how clever she can be in the open field. She and Long standing over that ball as the foul was called against Seattle. So again, Heath in a familiar spot that she found herself in just a few minutes ago.
You see them lining up, the Rainer communicating, they're sorting out the marks, making sure that they hold a line.
Van Hollebeck able to chase that down. Going one-on-one with Rapinoe. Van Hollebeck staying with it. Io crashes, but there's Haley with the nice save.
I like that run by Io to the near post, and she was targeted, but Kottmeyer comes out and takes it.
Nice job again by Portland to dispossess Seattle, but they have yet to find something to challenge Kottmeyer. Long wins that 50-50 ball. She'll get it right back. Heath running at Fishlock. Heath turning, Ellie going down again. Nice aggressive play by the Thorns though, and they'll be rewarded.
In that buildup, the Thorns had a lot of support around the ball, letting Long have an opportunity to get forward once they keep possession, and now it results in a corner.
The fans, record-setting crowd, willing, or attempting anyway, to will this team to the equalizer. Kottmeyer gets a mid on it. Io able to track it down and keep it in the offensive third. Knocked off a Fishlock. Here we go again, opposite side.
I like what Io did there. She came back late. She kept the ball near the box. Generates a second chance for the Thorns on the corner.
Long trots over as you would expect. Tobin inches away. Sink was boxed out at the last second. Couldn't get there with the header. There it is. Oh, what a save by Kottmeyer.
Wow, what a chance by Sinclair, and what a save by Kottmeyer.
Wow, Sinclair stuck with that play and absolutely lasered that header. Top shelf, and Kottmeyer parries it over the bar. Oh boy, what a save by Kottmeyer.
That was outstanding on both sides.
Man, it sure was.
The Thorns were looking to take that corner quickly, the second corner here. And the referee is instructing them to go to the opposite side, slows down play. Thorns will set up and look for another chance off of the set piece.
This place would have come unglued, especially if Sinclair would have been the one to draw them even. Here we go again. Offside.
That's hard to tell. I'd have to go back and see who is on the post or not on the post. But given that Heath took the corner, it's an awkward situation to be called offside in that situation. But again, she probably was. The linesman called it.
So Sink's header in the 69th minute was Portland's first real chance to test Kottmeyer. And Haley, the 4th round draft pick in 2013, is equal to the task. She's a great story. Little again. Betos trying to hang tough. The timing just off for Seattle. I really thought that Little was going to pull the trigger on that play. Laura?
She could have. She's of the talent level that maybe running toward the near post there, she could have gotten a shot off, but she's also very an intelligent player, and that's a difficult angle.
And again, Kim Little, who now has 5 goals, leads this club in assists. So maybe I shouldn't have been surprised as she was looking for her teammate.
Well, when you set your teammates up on top of the penalty spot, those are high percentage chances. And if you get the opportunity to do it, might as well.
Good hustle play by Heath. That's a matchup with she and Rapinoe. Nicely played by Megan. But Tobin is the one who takes it away and wouldn't quit on the play. And here's Catley. She's got the jets and the great left foot. The service headed away.
Catley looks for the cross. Perhaps in that situation, with her athleticism and her speed, she could cut inside and go toward the end line and look to cut the ball back. Not unlike Little did on that last play.
Barnes was there to head it out and start the counter. Portland's defense getting back and getting organized. A patient Seattle club here in the 72nd minute with that 1-0 lead. Thanks to Little's goal in the 57th minute. It came off of a Thorns turnover. The attendance just announced 21,144. The first ever sellout for the Portland Thorns and a new league record, breaking Portland's mark set last year against Houston of over 19,000. Unbelievable. Great ball by Io. Catley. You like the idea. As Sink was diving towards Koppmeyer on the counter, though. Here comes Seattle. Again, these two clubs meet on Sunday in Seattle. Laura Harvey bemoaning the fact that Seattle doesn't win a lot of games on the road. They'd love to pick one up here.
Neither of these teams win a lot of games on the road.
Right.
To pick one off on the road, especially in the situation of the home and home, where the Thorns will go up to Seattle on Saturday, I believe.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yep.
Games on Sunday, and it's hard to win on the road. And for a team, if the Reign hold on, if they pull off the win, that's a very big win.
Substitution here in the 73rd minute. Zerboni will come off. Kaylin Kyle, nursing that left hamstring strain, will come on. And while I've got a minute, registration for the Portland Thorns Nike Youth Soccer Camps wide open. Ideal for kids 5 to 13 years old. The camps feature an incredible 12-to-1 player-to-coach ratio. Visit timbers.com/youth to sign up. Laura Schott, head coach of Portland State. You know how important those camps are for the young ones?
Absolutely. It's hard to become a great player when you're already 14. You take steps when you're younger, you start to love the game. Attending camps is a great way to start enjoying the sport.
You must have been very proud of Chris Lewis, the former Portland State keeper who got some serious looks and did some big practicing sessions with the Portland Thorns not too long ago.
Absolutely, and she started a game in the absence of LeBlanc. She was a tremendous goalkeeper for us, and she just is a tremendous person. I'm so thrilled that she was able to come here and practice and then got that opportunity.
In 2013, I'll never forget that start. Heath leaves it for Farley. Can't squeeze it through. There's Fletcher again, and here comes you-know-who, Little on the counter.
Kyle does a good job to turn Little back there and make her play backwards to her left back. Watching Kyle in the World Cup for Canada, she came off the bench and she would play in a midfield position. She was very good at moving off the ball, creating angles, keeping possession. Very impressive.
Some folks wondered if Nadine Angerer would start today, the great German international who was just outstanding in the World Cup. And, you know, Paul Riley talked to Nadine before she left and said, hey, you know, by the time you get back, depending on how things go, this could be Michelle's job to lose. But you both are gonna play so much back and forth, odd even if you will, because of the scheduling from here on out. So we'll probably see Angerer very soon, and perhaps even Sunday.
Perhaps Sunday. To Beto's credit, though, she's earned the time.
You bet.
She's done a tremendous job. She's earned the trust of the team, and she's playing very well.
Farley doubled on this near sideline, leaves it for Catley. It'll be a Seattle throw-in here in the 76th minute. Still plenty of time, but Portland once again coming from behind.
We've already seen the Thorns press too high. Perhaps in the last 14 minutes of this match, they look to press somebody else high. Maybe they cheat Heath forward a little bit, perhaps Long.
Fletcher has little releases. Menges does a really nice job of knocking that ball free. As Little had her hands up in frustration.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Perhaps she thought it was a handball or something else, but Menges did a good job of turning the ball out of bounds.
Yanez, the little flip. Boy, and again, Matthias. Unmarked near that 6.
That was a creative little shot by Matthias to try and flick that on goal. Look to perhaps chip the keeper. It's unexpected, and in those moments, if you can catch the keeper off guard, maybe you can pull something off, maybe you can get a quick goal.
My apologies to Kat Williamson. Sorry, Captain Kat, you were right there with her. Menges, the direct style. Sink goes down hard as Fletcher got her. It's the right call.
It's the right call, and Fletcher knows. You can't let Sink have too much time with the ball. Not in their area of the field.
Well, you can see why Seattle just wants her in the lineup, though, Fletcher. She just plays so hard and is everywhere.
She's been solid. She's contributed to the attack. She's not just solid on defense.
Here's Long. She has scored from here before. That was in 2013, too. One of those long distance shock the keeper moments, but not that time. Long leading this Portland team with her 5 goals.
In the absence of the players who went to the World Cup, players who stayed here in Portland, they needed to step up and generate attack, and Long's been one of those players who's done that for the Thorns.
You know, early on, you're right, it was Long and Mana Shim, kind of the tag teaming scoring duo, and at some point Riley may go to his bench for Mana Shim, who might be that offensive spark. That's certainly why Io is in the match. She entering the game in about the, I don't know, 61st minute, something like that.
Yes, and as I look down on the field, I can see Shim warming up.
Io dancing. Middle of the field attack from Farley. That's a tough run for Van Hallebeck.
That looked like one of those chemistry situations. Kyle comes back from the World Cup, and Hallebeck's had a great game. But Van Hallebeck starts to go and then stops, and then when she stops, Kyle is reading it that she's going to go, and the ball's turned over.
So Riley and Shim discussing matters on the sideline, so it's just a matter of time before Mana enters the match here in the 81st minute, as the clock now becomes a bit of a concern for the Thorns and their fans. Catley, beautiful job, she and Io with the combination play. Seattle's defense equal to the task.
I like what Catley did there. She looked to combine and cut inside.
Alaska Airlines offers food and beverages from iconic Northwest brands. Learn more at alaskaair.com/beyond. So Mariah Bullock set to come on to the pitch. Laura Harvey's first substitution. Rapinoe comes out, a huge ovation. Listen in. Rapinoe enormously popular. Just a stud at the University of Portland. And this crowd adores her as Mana Shim enters the match. Van Hallebeck off. She was terrific, was Rachel.
Van Hallebeck was fantastic tonight. She neutralized Rapinoe on a number of occasions, and she defended very, very well. She was very solid.
The Thorns desperately looking for that equalizer, needing something in terms of points from this match, because they know on the road in Seattle on Sunday will be no easy task. And right after that, a red eye to New York to take on the Western New York Flash on Wednesday. Yow! Welcome to the dog days of summer, that is for sure, as the second half of the NWSL season starts to really pick up.
You can see with the rain making that substitution, they pulled off a very creative attacking player and put someone in the game that now is holding a bit more and clogging the middle. Bit of end-of-game tactics from Coach Harvey.
Catley double teamed. Yanez and Fletcher. Good effort by Catley. But the double team was too much there. It'll be Seattle throw in. 84th minute.
This could be an opportunity for the Thorns to press. A throw in deep in your own half. If you can sort it out and win a ball here, you're already in your final third and you can go directly to goal.
Great call. Well done on that one, Laura, as Allie's able to poke check that away. And here's Catley again. Swarming Seattle defense. Shim would not quit on the play. Shim, Io!
What a fantastic chance.
And tip your cap to Mana Shim on that one.
Ball could have gone out of bounds. Shim could have quit on it. She continues to play, sends that cross in, creates a very dangerous chance. Io gets up for it. Could have possibly been a corner.
Io stands at 5'5". That may be a little generous. As Ellie Reed is looking to come in for Kendall Fletcher. Reed, another one of those former Portland Pilots. Great game by Fletcher, who is back for the Seattle Reign. 85th minute.
That was a very solid return for Fletcher off of injury. You can tell that she's a game changer.
Well, no, there's no doubt. You know, even Paul was talking about her before the match. And Harvey after that setback the other night when she couldn't play because of the concussion. The double team just comes so quickly. Shim does a nice job of getting out of it. And Catley disappointed with herself, as there's no way that Sink was going to be able to come under that thing.
No, you could tell by the way she struck it, she was trying to get a little bit more bend on it, bend it away from the goalkeeper, bend it into Sink's run. Just didn't pan out that time.
Winters, nice ball to Matthias, although there's the speedster Menges.
So at this point in the game, under 5 minutes remaining, don't know what stoppage time's going to be. The Thorns really have to use these stoppages and minimize them and make sure the ball's on the field. So out of a stoppage, you got to put the ball down and play. You're 1-0 down. You've got to press the tempo.
Portland fans are already wondering if this score holds until stoppage time, if Riley will pull Betos like he did against FC Kansas City with the score exactly the same. Betos' heroics with the equalizer in stoppage time off the corner kick was heard around the world.
I unfortunately did not see that goal live, but I've seen it probably 10 times on replay. And that was a fantastic finish for somebody who's a finisher.
Man, yeah, not a keeper. And it was, and she just hit a bullet. That's one of the coolest moments I've ever experienced in this wacky profession. And we're getting close to stoppage time. 87th minute. Seattle leading Portland 1-0 on Little's goal in the 57th minute. Another substitution for Laura Harvey as Kirsten Dahlstream is ready to come in for Matthias. Matthias was just a great pickup for this Seattle bunch.
When Rapinoe came off, Matthias went into that point position, and they really went into a point forward, one forward system. Now, with this next substitution, it's very well timed. Take some time off the clock. We'll see where player entering goes. Maybe she goes high, maybe she sits back a little bit more. Not a lot of time remaining on the clock.
Dahlstream is a very versatile player. Yanez just leaves it. Reed and Bullock. '89th minute. It's do or die time for the Portland Thorns.
You can feel in this game that the Rain are just slowing it down.
Sure.
Multiple substitutions every time the ball goes out of bounds or there's a stoppage. Maybe they touch it away. Maybe they take their time on the throw in. Maybe one player is going to throw it in and they hand it off to someone else.
Yanez gives it up. Seattle just has not committed one of those dangerous turnovers that has left Kottmeyer in a vulnerable position. They've been pretty steady on defense, and Kottmeyer's save on Sinclair's header was the defensive difference right now for Seattle. Heath looking to play the full 90 in her 2015 debut, and here comes Little. She'll take it wide. The veteran knows that time is on her side. Williamson marking her. Smart play by Kat.
Perhaps the only time in this game you've seen Little on her own accord go to the corner. She's so direct to goal. And she's successful at doing it. She creates a lot of problems.
Everybody wondering what kind of stoppage time we're looking at. And we'll know in a matter of seconds. So 3 minutes of stoppage time, Laura. Not a whole lot to play with, but manageable if you can get something going offensively by Portland.
Really, at this point, you've got to put the ball in the final third. You don't have time to possess for long strains of the game. The Thorns playing down 1-0. They've got to get the ball into their final third and start pressing.
Offside goes against Seattle. As the clock in stoppage time continues to tick. 3 minutes was put on the clock.
In this situation, to put more pressure on the Reign, the Thorns might start playing more direct. You see that ball in from Betos. You see this ball going directly into Sinclair's head.
Goals extremely hard to come by for the Portland Thorns. We're about halfway through the stoppage time allotment. And the Thorns looking for the equalizer to pick up one precious point. Io Sink has got a chance. Tried to find Io, and the ball was taken away. Ooh.
That was dangerous. That was a great ball from Menges. We play Sink there. I'd like to see Sink turn and hit a shot, and she defers to Io in that situation, which is very unselfish, but Sinclair's one of the best finishers in the world. You've got her inside the box with less than 3 minutes left. Take a chance.
Triple team, though. I mean, gosh, the second that ball hit her foot.
She's used to that.
Okay.
She's seen that a lot.
All right. Look at Seattle taking its time. There's the yellow. Given to Cox. And the former Portland Pilot will just continue to take her time. Seattle keeping possession, and obviously doomsday if this continues. We're getting close, Laura Schott.
Very close, and with a foul call in this part of the field. The Reign again, they'll take their time. They'll set up. We'll see, they may just go to the corner.
It's well past the stoppage time by my stopwatch. So now everybody getting together as the game is over. And the Reign celebrating the 1-0 victory over the Portland Thorns. Little's goal in the 57th minute, the difference.
You can see in a game like this, perhaps for the Thorns, the chemistry isn't quite there. You return a number of players. As we've mentioned, returning so many players that were from the World Cup, the Thorns, they might take a little bit of time getting that chemistry back, that understanding. And the Reign, who haven't returned so many, but do have world-class players, but from countries that weren't competing in the World Cup, at times their chemistry showed, their interplay between some of their attacking mids and their forwards. The Thorns put in a solid performance, but in the end, that goal from Little was the difference.
What kind of a setback is this as far as the Portland Thorns push for the playoffs?
It's go time. They have to go now. They need to go up to Seattle, and I don't know if it's a must win, but it's a very, very important game to win. A lot of the players who returned off the World Cup, they're also put in a lot of minutes tonight. We'll see how maybe the lineup changes. But that game on Sunday is going to be very important for the Thorns, but it's also a big 3 points today for the Reign.
So the highlights are going to be coming at you in just a matter of seconds. Seattle's goal coming in the 57th minute off the foot of Kim Little. You're going to see it right here.
See her cut inside Williamson. She takes another touch past the second defender. She slots it home. The celebration. She's been doing that most of this match. She'd gone at players, beat one, beat two.
There was Sinclair's header in the 69th minute, so close for the equalizer.
That chance perhaps was one of the best chances of the game for the Thorns.
And Shim's effort, not able to find the head of Io. Kottmeyer with that save against Sinclair results in the clean sheet for her. What a great job by Kottmeyer when she had given up those 3 goals in the loss at Washington. She was steady Eddie today.
Backline for Seattle played very well. They were solid. They got the shutout in a very important game, in a rivalry game, and in an environment like this, which a record crowd, to come into this environment and perform like that, they've got to take away some confidence.
So Seattle wins it 1-0. Over 21,000 here at Providence Park to set a new Thorns attendance record, a new NWSL record, but the fans go home disappointed with the result that favors arch rival Seattle. Same 2 clubs meeting in Seattle Sunday afternoon. Oh, that'll be another good one. Our next home match is Wednesday, August 5th. The Thorns hosting Boston. It's a 7 p.m. start right here at Providence Park. You could get your tickets at thornsfc.com. Until then, on behalf of our entire broadcast crew and analyst Laura Schott, I'm Ann Schott saying so long from Providence Park. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Good night, everybody.